Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 57 of the CnD Podcast. As always, I am joined with my host, Danny.
Hello.
At the start of these episodes, these crime/murder/creepy episodes, I like to ask you a question, Dan.
Yes.
This week's question is, what do you know about the gruesome murder in room 1046?
Ooh. I don't actually. I don't know anything. That reminds me of that film though. I can't remember what it's called now.
What do you mean?
It's like a thriller like film where this guy is trapped in a hotel room, and like he can't get out, and like he opens the door and it's just a brick wall, and then he goes out the window, and then like it's just like infinite floor.
Is that the one with the two girls in the hallway?
No, that's Stanley Kubrick film.
Alright,
I can't remember what it's called.
Well,
bad.
Sit back, relax yourself, because I'm about to tell you what happened on that fateful day. Jingle time! Ding, 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 ding. On January 2nd, 1935, at approximately 1:20 p.m.
Sorry.
Why is that funny?
Sorry. I got some urge to blow the blower, and I need to put it away. Sorry.
Why?
I don't know. I just thought part of me really wanted to blow it, just inappropriately, and I can't stop myself now.
Blow the fucking blower.
No. I want to save it for something really inappropriate, like when the aliens visit or something.
Well, that is America, probably fucking.
Sorry.
Right, we'll start again.
Yeah, sorry.
On January 2nd, 1935, at approximately 1:20 p.m., a lone man checked into the President Hotel in downtown Kansas City. He had no luggage besides a comb and a toothbrush, and asked for an interior room on a high floor of the hotel. He checked in under the name of Roland T. Owen and complained to the bellboy about the outrageous prices of a neighboring hotel. After checking in and receiving his room 1046, on the 10th floor, he left the hotel, only to be seen intermittently throughout his stay. Though the man's behaviour struck the President Hotel staff as odd, they didn't think much of him. After all, the hotel often played host to out-of-towners and businessmen looking for some late-night company, and the less the staff got involved, the better. The staff wouldn't give his behaviour another thought until days later, when the man turned up dead. His hotel room a brutal bloodbath.
Fuck.
As they described to police the brutal scene, questions arose about the man's behaviour prior to his death, bringing the light to just how strange that behaviour had been. According to the Kansas City Public Library, that same day the hotel maid, Mary Soptic, stopped by to clean his room. It was around noon, and most of the hotel's residents were out for the day. However, upon reaching Owen's room, Soptic found that the door had been locked from the inside. She knocked, and Owen opened the door. After insisting she can come back later, Soptic eventually entered. Wait, what? Hold on a minute, what? After insisting she should come back later, she just entered anyway. What the hell?
Okay.
Weird, okay. She found the room in almost complete darkness, with the shades tightly drawn and the only light coming from a small, dim table lamp. As she cleaned, Owen mentioned that he had a friend coming to visit him shortly, and would she mind not locking the door? She agreed, and Owen left the room. 4 hours later, Soptic returned to room 1056 with fresh towels. She found the door still unlocked from when she had been cleaning the room that afternoon. Upon entering, found Owen laying fully clothed on top of his still-made bed, seemingly asleep. A note on the bedside table read, "Don, I will be back in 15 minutes. Wait." The next morning, January 3rd, Soptic's strange interactions with room 1046 continued. Sorry, 1046 continued. Around 10:30 a.m., she stopped by to make the beds and found Owen's door to be locked from the outside, as if it would have been when patrons left. Assuming Owen was not inside, she opened the door with her master key. To her surprise, Owen was sitting inside in the dark in his chair in the corner of the room. As she cleaned, the phone rang and Owen picked it up. And there's like a little transcript of apparently what he said. It goes like this. "No, Don, I don't want to eat. I'm not hungry. I just had breakfast," he said. After a moment, he repeated, "No, I'm not hungry," slightly more agitated. After he hung up, Owen began asking Soptic about her job in the hotel. The first time he had ever really spoken to her, and he asked about her and how many rooms she was in charge of and what kind of people lived in the President Hotel, if any, and again complained about the price of neighbouring hotels. Soptic answered, finishing cleaning, and left Owen in room 1046 alone. It was only after she left that she realised that since the door had been locked from the outside, someone had to have locked Owen in his room. Later that day, Soptic returned with fresh towels, having taken the ones from the room that morning. However, as she knocked this time, she heard two voices in the room, rather than just Owen's. When she announced that she had fresh towels, a loud, deep voice told her to leave, claiming that they had enough towels. Though she knew that she removed all of the towels from that room the morning, Soptic left the two men alone, not wishing to intrude on what was clearly a sensitive and private conversation.
Yeah.
That same afternoon, the President Hotel got two more guests whose presence would contribute greatly to the mystery of what happened to Roland T. Owen in room 1046. The first of these men was Jean Owen. No relation to Roland, just a coincidence at this point. She had come to Kansas City to meet her boyfriend for the day and decided rather than just drive all the way around back to her hometown on the outskirts of the city. She would stay for the night in a hotel. Upon checking into the President Hotel, Jean Owen was given the key to room 1048, right next door to Roland's. That night, according to police statements, she heard a repeated commotion. She heard a lot of noise which sounded like it was on the same floor and consisted largely of men and women talking loudly and cursing, she said in her statement. When the noise continued, I was about to call the desk clerk but decided not to. The other hotel guest was not quite a guest at all. The bellhop who had been on duty that night described her as a commercial woman who often frequented the rooms of hotels' male patrons late at night. So a hooker.
Okay.
On the evening of January 3rd, she came into the hotel searching for a man in room 1026. However, despite being a very prompt customer, the woman couldn't seem to find the man she was looking for at all. After searching for well over an hour on multiple floors, she gave up and went home. Both of the women's statements would raise more questions about the fate of the man in room 1046.
Weird.
The next morning, the bellhop received a call from the hotel's telephone operator. The phone in room 1046 had been cut off the hook for 10 minutes without anyone using it. Off the hook, not cut off, that was my eyes. The bellhop went up to check on Owen and noticed that the door was locked with a do not disturb sign hung on the doorknob. He knocked on the door and Owen told him to come in. However, when the bellhop told Owen that the door was locked, he got no response. The bellhop knocked once again and yelled for Owen to hang up the phone, assuming Owen had simply been drunk and knocked it off the hook. However, an hour later and a half, the telephone operator called the bellhop again. The phone in room 1046 was still off the hook and hadn't been hung up at all. This time, the bellhop let himself into Owen's room with the master key. The man was lying naked on the bed, seemingly drunk, not wishing to deal with him. The bellhop simply straightened the phone, placed it back on the hook, and locked the door behind him, reporting Ronald T. Owen to his manager. To his surprise, an hour later the telephone operator called again. The phone was off the hook, though not in use. This time, according to the Kansas City Public Library, when the bellhop opened the door, he found the bathroom splattered across the walls. He found the bloodbath splattered across the walls.
The bathroom?
Yeah, sorry. He found a bloodbath spattered across the walls. After the bellhop ran to alert others, a group returned and found Owen collapsed in the room, his head in his hands, suffering multiple stab wounds. The bedsheets and towels were stained with blood, and the walls were covered in it. After police arrived, they asked a barely conscious Owen who had done this to him. He replied, "Nobody." Doctors and detectives observed that Owen had been tortured vigorously. His arms, legs, and neck had been restrained by some sort of cord, and his chest sustained multiple stab wounds. He also suffered a punctured lung and a fractured skull.
Wow.
Though he was taken to a hospital, Ronald T. Owen was pronounced dead at the hospital shortly after arriving in the early hours of January 5th, 1935. The doctors would also ascertain that the wounds on Owen had been inflicted well before the bellhop's first trip to the room that morning. They believed that he had attempted to call for help multiple times, but hadn't been able to make it farther than picking up the phone due to his injuries. When investigators searched the room, the strangeness continued. There was no clothes in the room at all, nothing matching the description of Ronald Owen when he checked in. The hotel amenities such as soap, toothpaste were also missing, as well as anything that could have been the murder weapon. The only thing of note that detectives found were 4 small fingerprints on the telephone stand, though they were never identified. Furthermore, detectives found that Ronald T. Owen never existed. There was no record of any such man having lived anywhere in the United States, and they implored that the public come forward with any information that they had about the mysterious murder victim. Shortly thereafter, the neighbouring hotel that Owen had complained so much about got in contact, claiming that a man matching the description had stayed at the hotel on January 1st. He had checked in under the name Eugene K. Scott. However, upon further investigation, the police reached some dead end they had with Roland T. Owen. No man named Eugene K. Scott had any record of ever existing either.
Wow.
Over the next couple of months, various people identified the body as loved ones, as a loved one, though none of the identifications stuck. Finally, the case ran cold and detectives decided to bury the body. The funeral home received a mysterious call not long afterward from a woman who would not give her name, but she said that she would be sending funds for Owen to have a proper burial. They received an envelope a few days later containing money wrapped in newspaper.
Wow.
As they arranged the small funeral, a bouquet of flowers showed up at the funeral home with a letter that only read, "Love forever, Lucille." A year later, a woman named Ogletree, I can never say her name, Ogletree, Ogletree.
Yep, not a clue.
Ogletree.
Say Ogletree.
Yeah. A year later, a woman named Ogletree claimed that Owen was her son, who had been missing for 3 years. She claimed his name was Artemis Ogletree, and that he had been staying at another Kansas City area hotel at the time he went missing. Though there wasn't any more evidence to her case than any of the others, police were eventually inclined to believe her, though experts claim it was only based on lack of evidence in the rest of the case. To this day, the case remains unsolved, opened yearly by the Kansas police as new pieces of evidence unfold. For the time being, however, it seems that the mystery of room 1046 may never truly be solved.
That's
what
wild.
do you think happened to Mr. Rowan?
Man, it's super weird as well. I mean, he's obviously like, I don't know, part of the mafia or something. Like,
Why do you think he's part of the mafia?
I don't know. He's just got aliases, and he's just like, I don't know. It's weird because I don't know if he was still on. I don't know, because so you're saying the bellhop came in the first time and didn't notice anything there other than, you know, he was just.
What, you mean the one that did the phone?
Yeah.
So the thing is, when he was,
It was dark though, wasn't
coming
it?
in to put the foot, yeah, listening. So the only light was really coming from that barely lit thing. So this is my theory. I think because investigators reckon that he had the injuries before the bellhop even came in the first time.
Yeah.
So my theory is, I don't think they were. I think the killer might have still been in the room.
Oh, that's creepy.
I think that they obviously, when he shouted, like when those two had the argument with the lady that did the cleaning,
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we got enough towels, go away," and that sort of thing. I think that was them kind of going, them having a conflict about something. Like something caused that conflict. We probably will never know what it was. And maybe because the door was locked from the outside, he was like, right, you're staying in here till I know what happened, or you're staying in here till I come back for you, and then locked him inside.
Yeah, maybe trying to get
And then
information
he came
from him.
back. Yeah, and then he came back that night, finished a job, but got interrupted because the phone was off the hook. Maybe in the struggle, he knocked it off the hook, thinking, that if it's off for too long, then people will kind of come for me and look.
Yeah,
Maybe it was still in going at that point. And it was
because they would have had what are they called back then, like the telegraph people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so that was
okay.
the people who called the first time.
Oh right, okay. So he would have put it off the hook, and then they would have gone, "Who would you like to contact with?" And they said nothing.
Yeah, like hello, hello, yeah, like that. Yeah. Although I don't know if you have to press a number to be able to get to them. Like you say, operator, don't you? Back then.
Yeah, you have to like call the operator number, don't you?
Yeah, you like press like 4 and they go, operator, can you get me? Yeah, maybe they, because I remember back then there used to be a light that goes up if you put the plug in the telephone exchange.
Yeah.
Maybe that was on all the time and they had nothing connected. That's what prompted the conversation.
Because something must have flagged up for the operators to then go call the hotel.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, that's what I think it was. Personally.
So he was capable enough to call the operator. It's not just
I
like
mean, maybe
having...
it was the struggle that actually did the. Maybe in the struggle he knocked it off and then got stabbed. He went to visit. The guy was still in the room, was just dead silent.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if. It was locked with the do not disturb sign on it. So maybe the guy came back, put the sign on, closed the door, because that do not disturb sign was still on there when that bellhop came up to the door.
Yeah.
So either he's in the room or he's done the job and he doesn't want anybody to save Owen. But then he knocked on the door and Owen told him to come in. But yeah, come in.
Yeah.
But he got no response though after he knocked on the door.
So maybe he was told to be like, maybe he said come in, and then like, but he was actually silenced.
Yeah, because when the bell knocked again and yelled for Owen to hang up the phone, it still wasn't done. So then when the guy actually walked into the room with the master key, he was lying naked on the bed. He thought he was drunk, but then he didn't really pay much attention because obviously he's naked and he's lying on the bed. My theory to that is, why is he lying on the bed? Like he's clearly been stabbed or something. They've taken his clothes for evidence. They've left him there on the second time arriving. He's tried to kind of claw at the phone to get it off the hook. And
it's interesting that everything there has been taken as well, like the toothpaste and the soap and all that. But
it's free, innit? I do the same.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I would do the same as well. But
well, maybe we're a murderer, not an entrepreneur. Like Jesus, come on.
But then you take the phone as well, surely, if it was evidence. If it is part of the crime scene, and you're trying to cover up.
It was a part of the crime scene because it's just him trying to call the number, isn't it? If I'm the murderer, I'm not touching anything.
I mean, the murderer has taken everything. He's taken his clothes. They've taken all his possessions, all the hotel's possessions. So why would you not take the phone as well?
Maybe they just weren't worth that much at the time.
I don't mean as a valuable item. I just mean as a.
Like you may as well.
Yeah, if he's like cleaning shop,
Let me put this theory to you then. It's a lot easier nicking some soap than it is a massive phone.
Yeah. But then I don't know. It's almost, and also they would have to like sneak out the window or something. Like I don't, I don't know.
Well, no, mate. You forget there's no cameras back in that day. They can just walk out.
True.
You go 3 doors down. No one knows what door you came out of. And if someone comes corner, you go 3 doors down. They just see you. They don't know what room you came out of.
No, of course not. Oh, that's mad. Yeah, I feel like it was part of like a mafia thing or something, or the fact that this man has so many aliases and like pretend, and then he got his grave paid for as well by anonymous donor. Like, I don't know. It seems very like yeah, very mafia, very like what do you call it? I don't know. He wasn't like. Yeah, he must have been associated with someone, something, some group, you know.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. You're probably
Someone
like
had
we don't even know
enough
what
respect for
nationality
him.
you want.
No. Yeah. So someone had enough respect for him to pay for his burial. So I imagine it's like a secret organization or something. I don't know.
The Men in Black.
Yeah. Or what's that like rich one? All the rich people in it.
I have no idea what you're on about.
No, never mind then. Don't worry. Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird one. I don't know where his possessions have gone as well.
Yeah, that's
But then it's
Another
also
weird
weird.
aspect.
It's also weird that they knew what he had as well. Like, did they search his bag before he came in?
What do you mean? He knew what he had?
They were like, "Oh, he came in with some toothpaste or something."
No, it was the hotel's mate.
No, at the very beginning, you said he came in and he had some things in his bag.
It just says he has a luggage and but no luggage besides a comb and a toothbrush. Maybe he had him in his hand.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was in his bag. But he doesn't have a bag at all. He just has a comb and a toothbrush.
No bag. Yeah.
That's weird. So he must have been like, I don't know. I want to say he's on the run, but he's clearly not because he would have moved after a day. He wouldn't have sat there and had phone calls and had people talking to him. Weird. And what was the phone call? Like, I'm hungry. I'm not eating food or something. I've eaten. I'm not hungry. It's also bizarre that he was at the other hotel the day before and had a different alias there. So what do you think it was then?
I don't know, mate. I think it's definitely disagreement. Over what? No.
Any suspects?
No.
Oh, none at all.
No, that's the thing. There was only those two people, but those only people that seen what happened. They never, no, not seen what happened, but was next to the door and then no suspect.
Shit. What about aliens?
No.
Not even aliens this time.
No.
I love aliens. Maybe he was an alien. That's why he had no identification.
Don't know. All on it as of yeah, there's still no suspects.
Crazy. I reckon they could probably ID that telephone now, but they probably couldn't because they wouldn't have records of people from in the 30s. But yeah, crazy. And to be fair, it could literally just be the bellhops. So yeah, that's so weird. I wouldn't. I don't know. So what was the connection with these two ladies then? Because you just said they were in the building, but
They were just they thought they were people of interest, but they just gave statements. There was nothing kind of concrete on them.
oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Should we end it there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we appreciate you coming by.
Yeah. Bit of a sad one, really. I suppose there haven't really been many happy ones, but yeah, bizarre.
No, unfortunately.
I recommend watching that thriller though that I said about. I can't remember what it's called. It's called like Room 525 or something weird. He's like trapped in this room, and he looks at the fire escape, like the fire escape map, and it's literally just his room. There's nothing else on the map. That made me laugh.
Fair enough. Well, guys, we appreciate you giving us a listen. You guys look after yourselves. We will see you next time.
The next one.
Bye.
Bye.